Good morning, folks. JB here with you live on WFLA Now. You just heard the voice of Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison. Eagle 8 HD making it up to Spring Hill for deputies responding to a shooting behind a Publix in Spring Hill. Paul's about to deliver a live report in our newscast here
trying to
on
figure out where.
WFLA News Channel 8. So Eagle 8 HD just arriving. This is the parking lot behind the Publix now. Again, in Spring Hill, Florida. We have the latest information on WFLA.com, the WFLA app, which I'll read for you here. It's a person in custody after the shooting behind the Publix in Spring Hill on 160 Mariner Boulevard. We don't know the circumstances surrounding the shooting at this time, how many people were involved, how many people were injured, if anybody was injured. We just know that a shooting occurred and one person is in custody. Now, based on what we're seeing, you can see some crime scene tape up as we have a response from authorities in the Spring Hill area.
Hey, yeah, good morning. Yeah, we're in the Publix here. I'm going to move the camera out wide and show you the Publix. Here's Publix right here out front. Now, where they are is actually kind of to the back and to the side. That's where the altercation took place. And remember, Hernando County Sheriff on scene of this. They have the whole area secured, and the shooter is in custody. There's no threat to the public right now. They're trying to just piece everything together to figure out what happened. But again, there is a shooting and one person in custody. They have this whole back area of the parking lot blocked off. You cannot get in or out of this area of the parking lot. We've seen several people walking around this area, as well as plenty of law enforcement in the area. So they're going to be here for a while till they figure out what's happening and what's going on. But again, the public is not in danger. They do have the person in custody. We'll continue to stay up here and we'll get back to you once we have more information. Back to you guys. You're welcome. Oh.
Again, JB here with you live, folks, on WFLA Now. A suspect is in custody after the shooting occurring behind the Publix supermarket here in Hernando County. This is live from Spring Hill. You can see this is kind of a wooded rear parking lot area covered by, you can see here, a bunch of trees. Again, behind the Publix in Spring Hill on Mariner Boulevard. A suspect is in custody. We just don't know how many people
JB,
are hurt.
if you need me now, we're done that, so...
Paul, you're live on WFLA Now. Yeah, what's the latest, and can you kind of describe to folks exactly where you are in relation to the stores? I guess this is now, again, behind the Publix, or is it kind of diagonally behind it? Paul Lamison, do you copy?
I'm guessing it's this truck.
Folks, seems like we're having some communication problems with Eagle. But again, this is live from Spring Hill. Deputies responding to a shooting that occurred behind the Publix. Let's radio Paul again. Paul, it's JB. Do you have us? Nope, still some radio problems with Eagle. Eagle, JB here. Do you have us? Again, folks, for those
JB,
who just...
if you can hear me, I can go now.
Paul, do you copy? Again, problem with radio folks with Eagle. Let's just kind of break down exactly what we know at this time. A shooting occurred behind the Publix at 160 Mariner Boulevard in Spring Hill. We do not know what led to this shooting. So you can see here that there's several buildings. So this is a plaza involving Publix and a couple of other buildings, and this shooting occurring kind of catty corner to a couple of the buildings that you see here adjacent to the Publix supermarket. This is again in Hernando County for those of you joining us outside of the viewing area. This is north of Tampa Bay. As we see, crime scene tape has been put up as we have a response from the Hernando County Sheriff's Office setting up this area as they now launch an investigation into the shooting that has occurred. We do not know the circumstances of the shooting. We only know that one person is in custody. We are also trying to get a timeline of what has transpired. And exactly what time this morning the shooting occurred. The Publix was open as of 7 o'clock this morning, so the shooting is believed to have occurred while the Publix was open. But again, this occurring in the rear of the building as we look at some of the vehicles that have the doors flung open. We're going to try to, again, get a hold of Eagle Late HD. Paul, this is JB on WFLA Now. Do you copy?
Hey, JB, I cannot hear you, but if you'd like, I can keep talking. So, JB, where we are right now, we're in the Publix off Mariner Boulevard. Here, I'm going to give you guys a shot of the Publix. This, in the center of your screen, is the Publix. Where the cars are, this is the front of the Publix shopping plaza on Mariner Boulevard up here in Hernando County. Now, where this is in the back part over to the side. You see this clump of trees. That's where we believe the shooting happened. And again, I want to tell you, plenty of police activity out here. They have the whole area roped off and taped off that you cannot get in and out. Lots of the sheriff detectives making their way around. We've seen them focusing on a few different vehicles. Under here, under this tree, there's law enforcement parked in front of different vehicles. They've been questioning people and moving around. But again, what we've been told is the shooter is in custody. They do have the shooter in custody. Now here's where one of the vehicles, there's the law enforcement right here, and there's a pickup truck that sits right up underneath that tree. We believe this could have something to do with it as well. They've really been focusing on that truck. There's a lot of stuff on the ground around the truck, and law enforcement has been really around this vehicle. Let me get a better focus. There you go. They've been looking around this vehicle as well. It sits underneath some shade. And the law enforcement, you see Hernando County Sheriff right there by the truck, as well as there's a few other vehicles out in the area. The main sheriff presence is right here. They've been meeting here, talking to people. This is where they're doing their investigation. Right now we're watching as the crime scene is making its way in. They've just arrived. They've been parking, getting ready to go in. Once they go in, we'll be able to see what vehicles they focus on. But right now, they're right outside the crime tape. There's another vehicle right here as well with the doors open. This red vehicle has the door open, and this van has the door open. We think they may have something to do with this as well, because those are out of place and just kind of parked, kind of almost where they were left. But again, law enforcement on scene, the Hernando County Sheriff's investigating. What we can tell you, there is a shooting, one person in custody. You see quite a bit of law enforcement down here as they continue to investigate this, but we're over top, and when we get more information, JB, I'll be glad to pass it along to you. Right now, what we can tell you is, again, I'm going to move the camera wide and show you the front of the Publix supermarket on Mariner Boulevard. From what we can tell, the store is still open. This didn't happen inside the store. This happened out in the back to the side of the strip mall and the shopping center. That's where the activity is. Again, over here, law enforcement has it blocked, so you cannot get around to it. And again, here's a tow truck on scene that's also taped off as well. We think that may have something to do with it as well, this red tow truck. But again, here's law enforcement on scene. Again, they have the whole area behind Publix blocked off, so you cannot, pardon me, get in or get out. But again, didn't happen inside Publix. This is just out in the back of Publix. So JB will continue to fly over this area, and we'll let you know if we hear or see anything else. But again, I'll give you another look. Law enforcement back here combing the area. Now right here, see this? Let me zoom in on it. Again, that's some police tape. We've been looking on the ground to see what we can see. That just looks like a roll of crime scene tape. A lot of times we'll see yellow markers on the ground, but that doesn't seem like what that is. But again, here's where they're really focusing their area, back in this general area underneath the trees in the shaded area as they continue to investigate this shooting here in Hernando County. So JB, I will throw it back to you, but I'll stay on here and I should be able to hear you hopefully. But again, I can keep going and you can come back to me whenever. But again, this is behind the Publix shopping center where they have the area cordoned off and crime scene tape up. One person in custody after a shooting behind the store. Back to you, JB.
Paul Lamison reporting for us from Eagle 8 HD. As we again circle around the Publix, or really the rear of the building, where deputies with the Hernando County Sheriff's Office are now investigating the shooting that occurred at some point this morning. We're awaiting an update from the Sheriff's Office on how many injuries there were, if any, as well as some other detailed circumstances surrounding the shooting itself. The very latest for you folks on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. Hey folks, JB here with you live on WFLA Now. This is Eagle 8 HD flying over Hernando County, in particular Spring Hill, Florida, where deputies have responded to a shooting at 160 Mariner Boulevard, the area behind the Publix supermarket. You can see here that Eagle 8 focusing on this one section of the rear parking lot where the shooting did occur. We do not know how many people were injured or how many and people were involved. The circumstances surrounding the shooting are unclear at this time. We're waiting on a release, an update from the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, who appears to have taken charge, of course, of the investigation into the shooting that transpired at some point this morning. Of course, we believe that the shooting occurred during the hours in which Publix was open. Publix opened at roughly 7 o'clock this morning, so it is now 11:30 or so Eastern Time. We do not know, again, what time the shooting occurred, but we believe it was in the last couple of hours or so. Eagle 8 HD providing you with an aerial look here from the scene of that shooting. If we get any additional information, we'll share it with you on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. Folks, Eagle 8 HD is going to be heading back to Tampa, leaving Spring Hill, the site of a shooting that occurred behind a Publix, again, at 160 Mariner Boulevard. You can see Eagle packing things back up and getting back to Tampa, Florida, where we are located at WFLA News Channel 8. Speaking of News Channel 8, coverage on this story and many more headlines, of course, coming your way tonight on WFLA News Channel 8, NBC station here in Tampa, Florida, 8 on your side. For the very latest in the story right now, you can click on the link in the description on this video. It'll take you over to WFLA.com or the WFLA app. Thanks so much, and the very latest, again, coming your way in the hours ahead.